lumpy past days. But hopefully it will work. And Rotkiv will join us when he can. Time to post the thingy in all the servers. Yeah.
Just to make sure it's Norway, isn't it?
Yep. Unless I suddenly move to another country. Yep. Like, imagining just suddenly living in another country and you didn't do anything except waking up. There's like, oh, okay, I'm Spanish now, for some reason. That's the thing. If you were to live in another country except the one you are living in, which country would you most... Yeah, what country would you like to live in?
Not sure. Possibly Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep thinking about Canada, but I mean, their weather conditions get a lot colder than ours.
Yeah, but
That,
unlike Chris, I do better in the cold.
oof. But yeah, thanks to the Gulf Stream, the weather in the UK is a lot minor for this latitude, longitude, this far north to what it should be. We should get weather a lot more like Canada and Russia.
Mm.
So you know when those Arctic blasts come across from Russia, that's actually the weather we should be getting at where we are.
Yeah, fair. Like in Norway, that's like, okay. East is coming? No, it's not east. What's it called? The thing before winter. Autumn. Autumn is coming. I'm not sure myself. Like, Japan would be really cool, but if I lived in Canada, then I would be a lot closer to a lot of more friends and I could go to cons a lot easier.
Yeah.
Without having to buy in the risky parts of the world.
Yeah. My
No,
thought
no
of
offense.
Canada is it's all the advantages of America with not the disadvantages.
Oh,
I mean, weather-wise, maybe central France, but my ability to learn other languages is historically rather terrible.
Aww.
I mean, Canada might be interesting for a while. I must admit, I wouldn't mind spending a few months in Japan.
All the food. Num 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 num. Scrumptious.
I would love to stay in Japan, but from everything I've heard, it isn't designed for people of my size.
You
Not
mean the
designed for
height?
people of our size, and they there is certain elements of their culture that could be a problem.
Like they don't like loud people, and then I have a trouble. I have. Bah! English. Yeah. Yeah. They don't like loud people, well then I have a trouble. Me.
So, but yeah, I certainly wouldn't mind spending some time there and seeing what it's about.
All the food. Sorry, there's a lot of good food, okay? There's a reason why me and my dearest want our honeymoon to be Japan, because we're gonna eat all the food. You know, priorities.
But yeah, honestly, in terms of actually living, I mean, I'm actually pretty happy in the UK.
Yeah.
If I sit and think about it.
Yeah, I like good old Blighty.
What about you, Chris?
Well, Japan would be nice. And when I'm thinking about like cons and stuff, well, Canada, it's basically like Norway. So, you know, wouldn't be much difference.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you say, climate-wise, they're relatively similar, aren't they? So
Yeah, it's just more beavers and some French people here and there, and they don't speak Norwegian.
and if you talk to a French person, they don't talk French either.
Ah, okay.
No, it's the usual. It's like I imagine it's a lot like between Americans and the British in returns to English. Yeah, it is, but there's
But
so
at the same time.
many differences that sometimes it can be hard work for.
You'll
Understand.
also have to get used to your milk in a bag and mayonnaise on your burgers.
But wait, what?
Now, I don't mind mayonnaise on burgers.
What's
Now,
my
well,
mayonnaise?
it's an emulsion of egg, oil, and a few other things, I think.
Lemon juice, I think, usually.
Yeah,
Lemon
that's
juice.
Yes, the acid in the lemon juice is important for mixing them together. Otherwise, they just don't mix.
Ah.
Um, I mean, if it's just a burger on a bun, then yeah, ketchup. But if it's got any salady bits on it, then mayonnaise every time.
Maybe I can try that on the next vegan burger. Well, it wouldn't be vegan then, but
Yeah, because you've got the
Egg.
egg in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ow.
Also, most importantly, it isn't an instrument.
Are you sure? I'm sure there's someone somewhere who are able to turn mayonnaise into an instrument. Like, if they can make spoons and something that you can't see or touch become an instrument, like the one Sheldon Cooper plays.
Oh.
Like, the thing that nobody knows the name of, but we all know what we're talking about because it makes like type of sounds.
Yeah.
This is a fancy, complicated stuff.
Zimmerphone?
No.
We all know what it is, but we don't know the name.
Theremin.
Eh?
Theremin.
Gesundheit?
Let
Hey, Rotkiv!
me just double check, but I'm pretty sure it's called a theremin.
Theremin? I get Theremin family history. Theremin, the character of World of Warcraft. Yeah, it really sounds like an instrument.
We have Rotkiv.
We have a Rotkiv.
We do indeed.
So, Rotkiv, if you were gonna live in any other country than what you're currently living in, what type of country would you like to live in? Oh, that's typed completely different from what I tried to do.
Yeah, I hear Norway sounds pretty nice.
Yay!
I mean, like down here in Florida, you can only take off so much before you get pulled in for indecent exposure.
Yeah. So yeah, Norway. Yay!
Yeah, but at least you have Florida, man.
Yeah, and for people who was wondering what kind of instrument it was, here you go. I was quite confused myself. As a long link. Maybe just give them the proper stuffy wuffy.
I've just sent you the guy who actually created it playing the instrument.
Ooh. Let's see.
Basically, if you know the original Star Trek theme tune, yes, that.
Huh. Copy link. Ska vi se. I gotta listen to this now.
Instrumente.
It's the ghost instrument! Eh. Yep, ghost instrument. Riverdale! Hello! How are you doing, man? How you doing? Oh, I almost forgot. We need to have the blue chifundo.
The blue chifundo.
Yes, we need the blue chifundo. Blue chifundo. Blue fundo. We need the blue chifundo.
And just because a pink one's not enough, I take it.
We need to move a little sunrise. That's the chifundo.
We need him in a blue house with a blue window and a blue car and a blue
And he needs to be singing I'm blue daffody babada.
Don't ask me to sing. Don't ever ask me to sing.
Oh, we can ask
Not
Forest
that
Rain to sing. Can you do a cover of Chifundo playing I'm blue? Or
That
you
would be
have
quite mad.
Hey, speaker! How wow! Oh no. No. Why do I have to get that little video on my brain? Oh. If you guys have seen like the small videos that goes around nowadays on Instagram and other places, it's like, here comes the boy! Hello boy! Here he is! And it's just crazy. That's stuck in my head right now. Ah! See if I can find a link.
For some reason, this morning I had such a random song stuck in my head. I have absolutely no idea where it came from. You know, it was the women's suffragettes song from Mary Poppins. For some reason, it was just in my head when I woke up.
Here comes is he.
Here comes the comes the boy. Gremlin sound? Oh, please.
Here comes the boy! Hello, boy!
Come here he is. Oh my gosh. Can you tell that I have bad humor? Yes. This is amazing, by the way. Everybody should see this. Yes, speaker. This is your intro from now on. You're welcome. Oh boy. But yeah, since we have started to get some people around, I'm thinking that we could start with boy. Yeah. I don't know why I did that. ADHD. No. Never heard of it. Yatta. So, usually we do start with like, how did you enter the My Little Pony fandom, or why do you have that OC that you do? Anyone want to start?
I mean, I guess I could.
Yeah.
Which question would you like me to answer first?
What do you want to answer first?
No, I'm asking you as the host. Which would you?
Okay, let's go with how. We will first take everybody with how did you find My Little Pony, or how did you enter the fandom, or both, if they are the same.
So there's kind of two stages to this one.
Okay.
First stage was when I was a kid in the 90s.
Aww.
We had, VHS player like so many other people at that time, and for some random reason, one of the videos, one of the tapes we got for it was some random episode of an early generation of My Little Pony. I've got no idea what it was. I've got no idea what it was about. But occasionally I would sit and watch it.
Yay!
And then a lot of time later, back when Gen 4 was starting to get established in the UK, one of the TV channels that does kids programs started showing it, and my my kid at the time was what, 6, 7, something like that. Basically, the age to start watching it, and my computer at the time was set up in the front room along with the telly, so my daughter should be sat there watching it, and I'd be on the computer, and occasionally I'd glance across and watch see what she was watching, and then My Little Pony came on, and I started to just kind of respect what was going off, and kind of got into it myself.
GG. I so often forget that you're actually a papa. It's so sweet. What? Is it bad?
Yeah, just carry on.
Oh, okay, my bad. Well, I still think you would be a very good daddy. Dada. Dada? 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 No, Dada is what the baby says. Never mind.
I don't know if I actually was ever called Dada.
Oh, sadness.
I mean, you got to remember this was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's some time ago, yeah. Wow, 15. Yeah, she's a teenager now.
Yeah, starting to do actually goes into year 10 this year, which is when in the UK we start actually getting ready for our GCSEs, which is the certificate you get at the end of finishing compulsory education.
Oh. Congrats.
Well, hopefully.
So yeah, thanks to her that you got into the fandom, and like that's how you started seeing My Little Ponies. But how did you find the fandom, or did the fandom find you?
Well, at the time was when Fiora was. It was about that time that Doodle dragged Fiora into playing Queen Quake at her first BabsCon. At that point, she hadn't seen the show at all.
Oops.
So Doodle literally took her to one side, and they just had this. Apparently, they just had this massive watch session, which kind of got Fiora into it. And
yeah, GG.
so between me starting to be interested in the show, and he started to sort of publicly do things regarding what did she do early on? I think she was just kind of generally promoting different bits early on, and then what nailed it was when the Fallout Equestria game started. That's when I went from kind of casually on the side, just enjoying it and what have you, to actually being actively involved in some part of the fandom. So yeah, blame Fee for that one.
And Doodle, apparently.
Doodle's awesome. You can't blame her for anything. She's just awesome.
Yeah, but like she was the one who got
You
Fiora.
can blame her for lots.
No, but she was the one who got Fiora into the fandom, and if she hadn't gotten Fiora into the fandom, you wouldn't have gotten into the fandom.
Doodle is blameless.
Oh, yeah, don't say blame like a negative thing. I'm saying, like, she has the credit for getting you into the fandom. Does that sound better?
I know what you're saying.
So, Rotkiv, how did you find ponies, and how did you enter the fandom?
Oh, I was
Yeah?
1 second.
Very informative.
I was probably old enough to remember the G1, but what pretty much it got me started into the fandom was some random Google searches, which have eventually started me from looking at Team Fortress 2 stuff and then accidentally coming across until I accidentally came across Storm XF3's My Little Dashie.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice one.
Yeah, that story's a real tearjerker, but eventually I got into reading fanfics.
Yeah. So, that's both how you that's how you properly entered the fandom, or
Pretty much.
okay. Well, that was easy. Final?
Alright, well, similar to Headdie, back in the olden days when I was a little boy, my older sister was into ponies, so was introduced to them that way.
Girl
Um,
power.
yeah, I don't actually remember Gen 1. I remember watching it and thinking it's not that bad. I remember, was it Ponytails? I remember that being bad.
Oh boy, yeah.
Chris remembers. Chris does not wish to remember.
Yes,
I-
I remember. Oh yes, Gen 1. Yeah, yeah, it's for girls, but there are bits on this I can enjoy. But Ponytails. Well, yeah, this is all for girls and just oh god.
yeah, like ponytails isn't it's not G3 that we don't talk about, but I like Gen 1 and Gen 4. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, hence then after that, I had absolutely nothing to do with ponies until I believe my first encounter with Generation 4 was an article on Kotaku about a Skyrim mod.
Ooh.
Yeah, of where it replaced the dragon in the opening sequence with Rainbow Dash.
What?
It's a Skyrim mod. It doesn't have. It probably never made any sense to anybody other than we're doing it because we can.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought, oh, they've remade My Little Pony. Then didn't think of it for a few months. I'd see the occasional picture on forums and stuff. And then it wasn't until I was having a binge watch of a YouTube channel, Know Your Meme, and basically there was a whole video about My Little Ponies, and I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. Watched the entire first 2 seasons in about a day and a half.
Woo! Nice.
The next day, I did an internet search and found Equestria Daily. I remember it specifically because it was the same day that the Chrysalis Draw Friend special.
Oh, the fluffle poofle. The pink cotton
Chrysalis.
candy.
Flufflepuff.
Yeah, Flufflepuff, thank you.
Because apparently it was like only about 2 weeks since the season 2 had ended. So I just kind of was searching and found a UK forum, was talking on there, found a meet, went there, and sort of like at that point I was kind of, I'll just have a look and things like that. And slippery slope.
Whee! Marga Prask! Sorry. Norwegian. Belly flop into the fandom.
I remember specifically, on the way to the meet was I'm just going to check this fandom out. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not even going to spend any money in any real money.
And that's how the story went.
Yeah, I believe at that first meet I bought about 10 blind bags.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The old, I only buy one.
That wasn't even that. It was like, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just going to take a look.
Yeah.
Comes home with arms hanging off.
Yeah, like, that I gotta ask you guys about. Like, your first convention, pony convention, if you have been to one. Like, please, elaborate. Tell me. What was the plan and what happened? Like, finals we just got right now. Oh, I'm not gonna buy anything. Buys everything.
Well, I'd certainly blame Hasbro for that because so like before I bought everything, I kind of reasoned myself, all right, I'll buy one thing, and it was this little pack of was supposedly the main 6 as blind bags, but it was the main 5 because Applejack is a background pony.
Oh no! Poor Applejack!
So that's why I got the other blind bags trying to get Applejack.
Yeah, GG. I'm sorry, but that's hilarious, and I feel bad for Applejack at the same time.
Yeah, AJ deserves better.
Yeah. Poor girl.
Yeah, for me,
Just trying to be an honest pony.
Yeah.
I've never really went to a pony convention. But closest is of any convention I've been to was an anime convention in Miami called MusicCon.
Ooh.
During that time, I was a stage ninja for one of the fighting shows being performed by the Royal Chessmen.
Tells me nothing, but it sounds exciting.
Well, the stage ninja is pretty much one of the people that assists the performers while attempting to not look like that they're there.
Yeah, like I know what stage ninjas is, but it was the who was performing or what you were performing. That was the thing I didn't understand.
The Royal Chessmen are a stage fighting group stationed in Hollywood, Florida.
Okay.
They do anime conventions, pirate festivals, Renaissance fairs.
Ooh, that sounds fun though. That sounds really fun. So, how did it go, compared to how did you think it would go?
Well, it wasn't too bad. You usually get an occasional hiccup in conventions like those.
Okay. But did you have fun, or was it just work, or?
It was fun.
That is good. So, hopefully you will get to a PonyCon in the future and have fun and meet people.
Well, eventually, but I won't be there just yet.
Ah, well, looking forward to see when you do, and hope you have lots of fun. So, Headdie.
Hey, Chris.
You got some stories to tell.
Yes.
Then do tell.
What stories do I need to tell?
All of them. No, basically, your first one, like, how did you plan that the first con was gonna go, what you were gonna do, and, like, were you gonna buy just one thing or many things?
So, I've only ever been to one con.
Oh, okay.
And that was Cyberfest 2018.
Oh.
So, yeah, normally I'm not really able to sort of do a huge amount. money and everything.
Hmm.
But because Fee wanted a get together of everybody who was in the Fallout Equestria game she was hosting at the time, to one of the cons, she basically made it happen so I could go to Ciderfest. I've got to say, being the first ever convention I went to, I
Yeah.
spent most of it a bit kind of lost.
yeah, I can relate. I can relate. Yeah.
I think I only purchases wise, I think I only picked up a couple of drinks coasters. These I'm still using one of them now. These they're basically wooden ones. The one I'm using is a what has got Blackjack's cutie mark on. The other was Rainbow Dash's cutie mark because that's what um, that's what my kid wanted at the time. So yeah, I picked that up. Other than that, went to a few panels, spent a bit of time in the tabletop gaming room, bit of time in the they've got a consoles and gaming room set up. Spent a bit of time in there, hung out with a few people, met some great people there. Found out that Lenzabi is as great as he comes across online.
Yeah, GG Lensabi.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Ivana's pretty cool. Who else? Who else? What else did I meet there? You've updated it to as a this was. Oh, now it's gone.
I was trying to look up a Lensabi photo, so I
Lenzabi.
clicked on the wrong one. Let's see. I have. Where is the Lensabi?
I don't know if he's got a.
There you are. Well, I have both the awesome one and I have the My Little Pony version one. I'm gonna use the My Little Pony version one.
I mean, that's on theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Lenzabi's kind of OC. Is very into dragons. Really, you're doing a Discord with him now.
Yeah.
There we go. But yeah, he's a really cool guy, really friendly.
There we go. Hi.
Ivana was great.
See, he's not impressed.
Moon is absolutely fantastic.
Moonpa!
From the Dead Tree Studios, who does the Fallout Equestria tabletop game. He's really awesome. Trying to think who else. Met Mizkay, met.
I see.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Von Holtz. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to attend,
Oh,
which is sadness.
yes, all the sadness.
Shadow and his partner, Arcane, they're pretty great. Dreamcatcher was pretty fun to hang around with. But yeah, no, I had fun. Like I say, I was kind of a bit dazed, confused, and lost a lot of the time, but it was a good time. I certainly wouldn't mind attending again.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, my first con was also in 2018. That was at GalaCon in Germany. And basically, I found this group of brownies like half a year before, and just like, yeah, sure, I trust you guys to go to a country I've never been to before. Yeah. So, yeah, ended up joining them, going there. I was just like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna spend a lot of money. You know, it's just what they call as a con. Probably, I don't know, maybe a t-shirt. Like, I didn't have any experience or thing to expect, except they said that it was a lot of fun. So I was just like, yeah, sure, need some food, food money. Of course, I ended up spending way too much money.
Yeah, con prices are a thing.
Yeah, and it's like all the adrenaline you get from it. It's just like it's almost like you're getting. I don't want to say a bad word, but it's like you get overflown with emotions, with adrenaline, with energies, and everything just goes like a pew in the face.
Sort of all really overwhelming.
Yeah, but in a good way, kinda.
Hmm.
And you know, that's where I met Ellie for the first time. And yeah, she kinda inspired me to try voice acting, like for real, and not just do it for fun in front of the TV when nobody listens. Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad for that.
Me too. So yeah, I have this bag where she signed and wrote like "you can do it" and inspirational quotes. So I have that with me every time I go somewhere to do voice stuff in Norway. So
Aww.
yeah, it's like a good luck charm, and
Yeah.
keep my nervousness out of the way. So yeah, that started that friendship at the same time because you know, like the same year, I think she got invited to a con in Norway, and there was like, oh, I need a place to stay, and the con was like, I don't know if we can afford a hotel, and I was just like, I kind of know her, and I have a big house, I can give her privacy, and Ellie was just like, yeah, and I was just like, oh, okay, yay. So yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, we ended up having a lot of fun, and I was able to drive her around Norway a little bit and show her a lot of good food, and you know, she was able to enjoy the con. So,
That's good.
so hopefully, when con starts up again, even here in Norway, hopefully we'll be able to do something similar for her then, because
Yeah,
she did.
fingers crossed for you.
But yeah, the con, like GalaCon itself, was a lot of fun, and I met a lot of amazing people. And it was so inspiring to see so many kind people everywhere, and everybody was like openly kind to people. It was not like you see, what shall I say, in the normal world where people are more distant and trying to respect each other's spaces instead of like randomly being kind at every turn of a corner. It's
just
nice.
Seeing the costumes that some people come up with as well are
Ooh.
amazing.
Yeah, the cosplays. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. It's like one thing that I got myself was it's not a fursuit, but it's like a complicated cosplay with like a fursuit hat or a head.
Mhm.
That's like a Sakura one from a Russian cosplay maker. And it's just like, oh, I love it so much. So I need to try to get that with me to Ciderfest if I'm able to make to Ciderfest.
That would be cool. I'll tell you what, though, I think we missed a question.
Oh no, where is it?
No, I meant when we started it, you asked a double question.
Oh yeah.
How did we get into the fandom and the story behind our OCs?
Yeah, sorry, distraction. Whee!
I mean, it happens.
Yeah. So since you pointed it out, do you want to try?
I mean, I can do. It can get a bit long-winded, so I don't know if somebody else wants to try first.
Yeah, Rotkiv or Final, do you guys want to go first? Okay, take it calm, one at a time.
Sorry, I was busy doing my things.
Yeah, I saw.
What, OC stories? Well, yeah, my OC here, Hunabi, didn't actually start out as my OC.
What?
Yeah, he started out as a backstory for a secondary character in a story I was writing.
Cool.
Yeah, I was having a go at doing a Fallout Equestria story, and yes, like I had this main character that I, was a Vault Dweller, comes out and thing, and a secondary character, which I had planned for her to appear occasionally throughout the thing, and then appear, as a proper character later on. She was kind of like based on the mysterious stranger kind of thing.
All right, yeah.
She'd show up, at the nick of time, save the thing, go off. Then later on, he would find out that is actually the main character's long lost mother.
Aww.
And it's like I was just writing this story, and I had all these great plans about the main character, and he just did not click. I ran out of steam of him, and I started, you know, in my writing process, I had loads of different documents, of characters, what I've got planned for them, their backstory and things like that, and I just found myself just keep going back to her backstory, and then the whole scope of the story centered around her, and I just was thinking about her backstory and stuff, and started making her parents, and this is her daddy.
Aww.
And like I said, when I first started, came across some, Fiora's stream and things like that, I did kind of have a little spit take when I heard not Nyota's name, because that is this OC's little nickname for his daughter.
Aww.
Nice.
All the lovely Papa energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Her name is Star Cluster, and this he's not normally this grumpy.
Oh, it's a grumpy wumpy.
Yeah. His name is Unabi.
Unabi.
It's Swahili for prophecy.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, just it was kind of Nyota kind of really did kind of put me through some themes. Say, oh yeah, so that's his daughter's name, but Nyota's also Starkati, and so is Navi.
So, I guess you guys would be good friends if you ever met. Like, in the story, the characters.
Possibly. Don't know.
Yeah.
So, supposedly, even Starkretti don't get along with other Starkretti.
I don't know, you just, things to talk about, I guess. It's one way to start a friendship.
Yes. How the star screwed you over?
Yeah, Bonding! Yay! If you never made a friend based on trauma, then you don't know how to make friends. As they say.
So yeah, and just I started using him more and more in things, and eventually I thought, oh yeah, I'll just use him as me.
May no say. Yeah, that's a nice story. Thank you for sharing.
Cool. Also, it's kind of fascinating, from my own attempts at writing, just how you do gravitate towards certain characters.
Yeah, so I had so much planned for the main character, and just I did not like him.
Just like, nope.
Every time I tried to do, conversations with other characters, I was thinking, I don't care what he wants to say.
Oh, sadness. That's a big oof though.
Yeah, was it? Let's say the worst thing in a book or in a film thing you could say is I don't care what happens to these people.
Oof, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Rotkiv, do you want to give us your explanation to your alicorn?
Oh, I'll see what I could do, but I'll try to keep it as Chris friendly as possible.
Thank you.
Well, he originally started out as a human. Life never went too well for him. One parent was kind of on a toxic side, while the other parent was more indifferent. Well, eventually, he comes across a pony that's getting chased by changelings in his world. He deals with the changelings and takes her in. After he noticed, he kind of gets this idea that the pony might have been there for a reason, possibly a friendship problem. Well, after a few nights, the pony realizes that he was a subject of the friendship problem, and after she goes back to her world, he receives a letter, or which had a spell embedded in it to send them to their world. Well, after a magical mishap, blame discord, he ends up in Equestria Girl's world in his Alcorn form. And the first thing at the that you think of when you wind up in an alternate universe:
Panic?
food, food, water, shelter, and this would be a bad spot to be sticking around in because somebody's gonna want to experiment on you.
Panic! Yeah. Wait.
Well, eventually he ends up panicking and ends up finding the island that at the cruise ship had crashed into, and finds the, the portal through the quicksand. Finds himself in the Everfree, and comes across Flim and Flam. Worst first impressions ever. Apparently, Flim and Flam are in the Everfree poaching for exotic animals. They come across him, think he might be a star of the show. He ends up getting all these red flags, ruins their camp, releases all the animals that were captured, including manticores, a um, a group of timber wolves, and an Ursa major and minor, and a swarm,
Super fun.
and a swarm of flash bees.
Oofta.
After the animals had been released, he strikes a deal with some of them, particularly the flash bees or the honey for some mead, and with an altercation between an alpha timber wolf, from which the other timber wolves were part of his group. He ends up becoming the alpha.
He ends up becoming an alpha? For the bees?
Well, he becomes the alpha to the timber wolves.
Oh yeah, my bad. I heard wrong. Never mind.
No worries.
The alpha bee.
Yeah, that would be awkward.
But yeah, continue.
Well, after he knows that he's going to be needing some some resources. Well, since he is inherently a non-magical creature ending up in a magical world, if he did try to cast something, even with a focus, there would be a chance that he'd end up injuring himself. Like how the unicorns would kind of tire out when they do too much casting.
Hmm.
He'd simply bleed out. So to fix that, he ends up finding a spell book on pocket dimensions and transformations. Again, blame Discord. And upon on using the book to don a disguise, he learns a spell on healing. Since he's a non-magical creature and casting spells would essentially kill himself if he kept it going, he pretty much uses the healing spell to maintain in his health while casting other spells. He eventually ends up collecting some unicorn horn fragments, fashions it into a necklace, and uses the fragments as foci.
Okay. So
So,
this with this backstory, you have given a lot of thought, but I'm more also wondering, like, how did you yourself choose an alicorn pony as your OC?
Well, pretty much the alicorn thing would be kind of a mystery kind of thing. As for the cutie mark, it's a metal mug, which when I first thought about it, it was pretty much to be dealing with my with acting and playing a drunk. But eventually, looking things up, I had came across some uh, mythological aspects of it, with dealing with one of the triumvirate of Tuatha De Danann, the god Glovnir, a blacksmith deity who is also
Wait, sorry.
a blacksmith deity that was also a deity of hospitality. Using that as part of the backstory, he decides to build a smithy, tavern, brewery, and theater off the edge of the Everfree, so you might be able to earn bits.
Sorry, it looks very cool.
Of course, after hearing a bit of some of the Fallout Equestria lore, I come to find out that well, when I made the character, I gave him a black aura for his magic, which some people would kind of see that as kind of evil or something. The Alicorns, I find out that they're kind of evil. And Well, I wouldn't say he's evil, but just misunderstood.
I was going to say, I mean, Fallout Equestria, alicorns are a bit of a complicated one.
Yeah, they're not what I would call proper alicorns. They are more like experiment type of alicorns. Like
Yeah.
normal alicorns are supposed to resemble harmony, not chaos and destruction.
So, yeah, the alicorns created by Taint are,
Bad.
thanks to varying reasons, fall a lot closer to sort of evil on the list of alignments. But the original alicorns, the princesses, are still good. And at the end of the story, natural born alicorns arise again. And they, again, they follow a wider alignment than the sisters, but they're definitely a lot closer to what we would recognize in personality.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just an aside.
Like you have your OC in your own universe, so then it can be whatever you want. It's not everybody does the Fallout Equestria canon universe or the My Little Pony the Siri canon universe, and some people make their own whole mixture of everything kind of universes. So whatever works for you.
Yeah, I will just say I'm a little embarrassed to say that with the main picture here that I did, right, when I was editing it, right, I was just in complete tunnel vision. Didn't even realise that Rotkiv was an Alacon.
Well done, Final. Well done.
GG.
It wasn't the area I was editing.
It's just I need everybody to fit, and I need the mics. Where are the mics?
Yeah, on occasion, to hide his wings prior to heading to town for supplies, he would cast a spell to hide the wings.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
That sounds smart. So yeah, you thought that would be an interesting character to have as an OC, so that's why you chose to have the Alicorn?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know a lot of people would look at him and say, "Ew, alicorn." But then you got out a lot of other people that actually like those kind of characters.
Well, I mean, you look in the fandom, and there's like the likes of Lightning Bliss, who's an Alicorn, and
Mm.
because of the way Blissey does things, it works really well for her.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
she doesn't
yeah.
use this. She don't use it as a I'm OP. She actually has a well written backstory, and it ones that seems logical. So, like, yeah, I'm one of those people who are not exactly excited to see Alicorn's OC. I'm more like, okay, why did you choose to have an Alicorn OC? Was it just to boost your own self image, or is it because you actually have given it thought to make a proper story? Or was it just for fun? Like, whatever you choose is valid and you can have fun, but I respect more an Alicorn OC that has a proper backstory and, like, make something proper with it and not just use it as an ego boost. But that's me personally. That doesn't mean that I don't like that person's OC just because it's an ego boost. It's like, it's your OC, enjoy, have fun. Like,
Yep.
nothing bad with that. And you have a very detailed backstory, so you're working on it, and you have a lot of things. And as far as I know, you see yourself as a Fallout Equestria OC, or
I'm pretty much looking at it as a between eras.
okay. So more like you kind of your own universe type of OC, since you're including human first, and then uh, going through that story of traveling and changing and all that stuff. So yeah, kind of your own universe. Got it. Okie dokie.
The backstory reflects your own journey through the fandom, which is awesome.
Yee. Like, I don't even have a backstory for Flitter. She just kind of happened. But yeah.
And
So,
we're all glad it did.
Somebody needed a hug, and so the universe provided.
well, I thank you. Oh boy. But yeah, Headdie, you wanna indulge us or whatever that word means?
Fair enough. Well, kind of like with Finalsight, Chifundo didn't start out as an OC.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, what, 4 and a bit years ago now, I think we're on?
4 or 5?
Yeah. Fee put out a call in her sort of her following, her fandom from. I mean, you got to remember, her fandom sort of started with back when she was playing World of Tanks, trying to teach people how to play that, and then evolved through gaming and into finding ponies. And part of that journey included varying stints doing tabletop RPGs through Roll20. My first tabletop experience was on one of Fee streams playing the first edition of Warhammer 40,000 Dark Heresy.
Oh, we do.
So,
Yeah.
by the time FOE came around, I'd been in 4 or 5 different settings and systems, and she put out another call for people to join the game, because she usually plays with fans, and so I started putting together a character for this. At this point, Jifundo was basically another character. He was somebody I was going to have a bit of fun with, and a lot of these RPGs did last 6 months and fizzle out, whatever. Which fair enough. So yeah, it was going to be 6 months, once a week, kind of delving into this character's shoes or hooves in this case. I decided I wanted to play something a bit different to normal, so I looked at the system. Wasn't ready to deal with a full magic build, so I decided to go for a shaman, which at the time meant Earth Pony or Zebra, because we were playing with the pre-release rules for Fallout Equestria.
I still can't get my head around the magic system.
Why do you think I made an
Fair
Earth
enough.
pony?
Fair enough. So yeah, went through my usual sort of routine of pulling bits and pieces together. So I decided he was going to be a shaman, and I liked Sakura a lot. I really respect Sakura out of Gen 4. So Zebra Shaman, okay, let's take some cues from her. Also, at this point, I hadn't actually read Fallout Equestria.
Yeah.
I was aware of Fallout Equestria and what it was, both from the title and mentions of it here and there, but I hadn't actually read it, so a lot of the detail I had absolutely no idea on. So yeah, built him to be a shaman. Decided to take the perk Pinky Sense, which you get Pinky style premonitions of things about to happen. Like with like a piano falling out the sky or whatever.
Twitch, twitch.
Yeah. So when she gets the tail twitches, the ear twitches, it's that in the system. So I thought, well, I know. Have a little bit of Pinky in Chifondo's distant background somewhere. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, let's make his stripes pink. Okay. So he's a Zoni. He's kind of mostly Earth Pony Zebra mix, although there is think I put a little bit of. Decided there was a little bit of technical
Oh!
in there.
Ah, we've been
What?
raided!
Oh, we raided!
Woo! Hello! Hi, people!
Hey, welcome.
Amy Squee! Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
I'm guessing Pikachu. Yep, there she is.
Pikachu!
Hi, Dina.
How? Thank you for joining and writing. Yeah, she is now following the butterflies. Whee! Flap, 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 flap.
Welcome, everybody.
How? We're talking about OCs and how they are made and background stories and all that shenanigans and some Fallout Equestria stuffies. Woo!
Yeah, and these are two of my people.
Well, welcome.
I see Pichu has the Pikachu. I'm gonna Pinky Chew. Choo-choo. Choo-choo has to write the reaction with like, ah! Mm.
So yeah, as it turns out, the whole Pinky Sense thing didn't play a huge amount to do with it because Fee put in a build for her character that works a heck of a lot better thanks to some of the other stuff she did. So anyway, so yeah, there I was, expecting this game to run its usual course of 6 months, maybe a year, and slowly, I mean, a little bit of hype and momentum built around the other games, and it created memes within Fiora's community, what have you. But
All the
for some reason, Fallout Equestria the game was just, it was getting out of hand.
Whee!
And honestly, diving into Chifundo's headspace was actually kind of therapeutic to me at the time. I was having a few problems of my own, and being able to play this character that was a slightly idealized version of me, who was as relaxed as I sort of used to be when I was in my early 20s, was really really good for me. So and then I kind of, and as often happened, I started using Chifundo for my profile picture on Discord.
Yeah.
And between that and his general reception, he kind of built from being this character I was playing into this literal incarnation of me within the fandom, within sort of, well, everything. I mean, obviously, there's people from before who know me primarily as Headdie, and I still go by Headdie for the most part, but a lot of people actually kind of know me as Chifundo now, and it's kind of weird. But yeah, he's kind of gone from just being something I did into almost something I am. Yeah, that's kind of where he is. So he's this pink, occasionally blue now, because that was a thing recently. Zoni shaman who just kind of wants to help and wants things to be better and wants to help where he can. Blue Fundo doing a bounce. Dear, I swear he looks like
It does look like a shark fin.
Yeah, I've got to say, Fopdoodle is watching this. Thank you ever so much for doing this one. So one of Fiora's followers, Fopdoodle, not Doodle, not the Doodle we were talking about earlier. That's Diamanda Doodle. Fopdoodle commissioned a reference sheet for me, and honestly,
it's amazing. It's beautiful. Like, heck, look at it. It's so
it
pretty.
It's how I've come to identify him.
He's a pretty boy.
And
look at the slushes. Look at them. Look at them. It's so pretty.
Every pony's Shifundo curious.
Let's not get into that one. I want to keep this safe for Chris Final. But yeah, it's seriously, Fop Doodle. Thank you. It's really shaped how I visually see Chifundo, and I've also got to say a huge, huge thank you to Forest Rain for volunteering to voice Chifundo in the audiobook that Chris helps with. First,
Yeah, very good.
first, the so Cinder sent me Forest's audition, and without hesitation, my reaction was, "That's Chifundo." Seconds into listening to it, it was just,
Yep.
"Ah, Forrest, your voice is so perfect for this. Thank you ever so much."
Whoop whoop.
But yeah, that's how Chifundo came to be, both as a character and as my OC.
Yeah. There you have it, folks.
Yeah, and as you were saying about Fopdoodle commissioning that, I should say that my little grumpy zebra here was done by Pikachu.
Yay.
What was the name of the person who made the picture that you have used as what shall I say? Kind of background, but at the same not the background.
Ren
Oh,
the
you're-
artist.
Ren the artist. Okay.
Gotta say the blep is good.
The black
Yeah.
coffee. Confusion. Yes. um,
So, chat. By the way, any questions for anybody? Feel free to pop them in chat, and we'll do our best to talk about them.
Yee. Oh, by the way, pronounce this correctly. Yeah, if you guys could have made a double-length episode for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic before the very last episode, like anywhere in between the first episode and the very last episode, what would you make?
I've actually been thinking about this one.
Yay!
Next question. Alright, well, you know how they had those two episodes, what was it, leading up to the friendship games? Where it was, one side was, the CMC's, point of view, and the other one was the main sixes. I might be mistaken. But anyway, my idea was, I always wanted, when Shining Armor and Cadence announced that they were pregnant, I wanted a pregnancy episode. I wanted them getting ready for the birth. I wanted, sort of like, I wanted a two-side episode. I want one side, sort of like Shining Armor, being Shining Armor, kind of panicking,
Aw,
little things like that.
poor
And,
Papa.
and the other side, Cadence. Yeah, did do it.
Cadence, the one who is pregnant, the one who is supposed to have all the hormones and pains and
And,
stress.
the thing I wanted it because with those two characters is Cadence is always depicted as
Perfect.
perfect, and as such she's sort of bleh.
Bleh. No
Yeah,
offense.
she's brought in as a character because she's perfect, right? And Shining Armor has basically My Little Pony male character syndrome. Yeah, so like he's supposed to be all this big tough and thing, but you'll only ever see him failing. So I wanted an episode where, so like and also because it's also a typical trope of so like the expecting father panicking and things like that. So I wanted a proper Shining Arm episode where he wins.
Yay.
He is in control, and I wanted Cadence to be nervous and panicking.
Yeah, like actually showed signs of pregnancy, Not just a little ruffled hair, like, girl, I know you're an alicorn, but come on. It's pregnancy. You're growing another life inside your belly welly.
Yeah, and it being the two-side episode, so like doing the Shining Armor episode, so like you see Cadence appears to be her perfect self. But doing her episode, you see even though in his episode Shining Armor is in charge and all that, he's coming across as the bumbling Shining Armor.
Oh.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that would have
sounds
been a
pretty
nice
good.
episode. Yeah.
So I was always disappointed that there wasn't a thing. It was just like, yeah, we're pregnant. Yes, we have this little demon baby.
Oof, though.
I must admit, Cadence and Shining Armor suffer from their less characters and the inciting incident to an episode.
Yeah.
To buy our toys!
Well, I mean, think about when you see them. It's things like Canterlot Wedding. We're literally sprung out of nowhere that A, Twilight has a brother that we've heard nothing about up to this point.
Yeah.
And B, there's a third alicorn.
Yay! From nowhere. Meh.
Yeah. And they're apparently getting married.
For some reason, out of the blue.
Absolutely no hints leading up to it that either is the case. And it's just like suddenly they're here.
Accept it. How
Yeah.
about now?
And again, the pregnancy basically exists to introduce this character and create an inciting incident for another Crystal Empire episode. Because we've got to shoehorn that back in somehow. Yeah.
And these toys
when-
are for girls. Do you really expect not to have another princess?
I mean, that's not my complaint. My complaint is we only ever see them when we need them to be the reason something is happening.
Well, it could have been worse. It could have been Princess Skylar.
Oh, no! No, do not speak the name. Do not speak the name. Do not speak the name.
I think somebody's being on thin ice here.
No.
Yeah, I remember actually one of the fics that I actually did complete was based on Skylar.
Oof. Oof.
Actually, the whole thing was, sort of like, yes, I'm making her an alicorn, but she's not a true alicorn. She's a pegacorn.
Pegacorn.
And basically, she's not a powerful alicorn. Yes, she's got wings and a horn, but she's pathetic.
Sadness. Yeah, no, for me, having a boy alicorn, when Cadence and Shining Armor were having a baby, that would have been the perfect moment to show people that yes, there can actually be male alicorns. That would have been perfect timing. So
But boys are allowed to be awesome.
yes, thank you. Meh. All this screaming about the feminist stuff, it's you only hear about the extreme versions. You don't hear about the feminist people that actually wants equality and don't want females to be on top. Stuffies. So it's kind of a little bit sad. So it would be nice to have a male alicorn baby. But I wonder what would they name him? Flurry Heart. So Fluffy Heart? Would that work?
Maybe.
Yeah. Fluffy Heart.
No, but,
Oh,
so,
kind
no,
of cute though.
So Shining Armor and Cadence, character-wise, were, you know, third rate. Yeah, just they were just they really needed something better. I mean, personality-wise, I think the only thing that really interesting with Cadence that happened was in the Discord episode where he's blue and a cup of water.
Yeah, when
And-
Discord is faking the blue flu.
Yeah, and two things you find out about that. One, she's a secret nerd, and she is probably the source of why Twilight is so into Starswell.
That, and she's kind of an adrenaline junkie, so
that.
Silver Quill's headcanon became true.
Yeah, so love was it in one of the comics? Yeah, so like it's kind of hinted that she kind of disguises herself and is a roller derby competitor.
Yeah, that's true too. That would have been really fun. But you also have the thing in Best Gift Ever where she get like a little bit what's it called? She get like red in her cheeks when Shining Armor does something like action hero-ish.
Yep.
I think that was nice. That was a nice little touch. That was cute. I like that. That was nice. Yeah. Wasn't there? Well, there was also. Now I am forgetting what episode it was. Ah. Fela. Hvor ble det av henne?
There is the one bit. I think it is in the.
Oh, the one with the Minotaur. When he comes back and wants to try making money off the ship cruise thingy, but then Twilight ends up taking over. Yeah, then.
I thought they kind of made her character bad in that one.
Well,
because she makes it kind of her oblivious to the pain that Twilight is going through, and she also kind of rubs her nose in it.
Yeah, the thing, I saw it more like she saw that Twilight is her own person. She needs to make her own decisions, but at the same time, she still has the mother instinct that kicked in, so she wasn't able to truly let her be alone. So for me, it was more like a person who wanted to help but didn't quite know when the time was ready to step in. Especially if you're a new mother.
Yeah, but there is a point where I think Twilight kind of specifically states that she's all right doing this as long as she does this. I think go see the Comets or something. The family.
Mm.
See the shooting stars. That's the only thing she wanted to do.
Yeah.
She could bear with it on there. Things happen, she ends up missing it, and Cadence is say, "Oh, it was so lovely," and things are like rubbing her nose in it.
Yeah, like that for me was like either mom brain hormones or bad character writing, because also I have not been pregnant myself, but I know a lot of stuff happens in your brain that makes you very untactful when it comes to things. At least like the first year after you get your kid, unless you're like one of the superhumans.
Well,
So.
sleep deprivation kind of does that to you.
Oh yeah, that too. Holy moly! But yeah, sorry, but yeah, like I think they could have done more and better with Cadence. That I truly agree on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel Flurry Heart had more personality.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, yeah, like we found out right away she's very powerful and ja, Norge, hei hei, du vet hvem jeg er. Ja, Norge, ja. Mhm. Hei hei og brunost og alt det der, fløte og vafler. Mhm. Hei hei. Hadde du glemt jeg var norske? Hæ?
Showing off a little bit there.
Nei da, du vet det går helt fint. Du bare snakker helt normalt.
I have no idea.
This is fun. So this is one of the things that Norwegians really like to do when they're traveling to other countries. Like, they're having conversations with people, and then they want to talk about something that's maybe doesn't have anything to do with anyone else, and it's kind of private, so they just jump over to Norwegian instead of going somewhere private to talk, and then they could jump back to English afterwards. It's like having your own secret, yeah, having your own secret language when you're around other people, like when you were a kid, you know.
Yeah, it's always funny when it also turns out that the other people actually know the language as well.
Yeah, and then you're just looking at them like, did you just understand what I said?
So,
Oops.
so I used to watch this YouTube who was an American, but so like had spent years teaching English in China, and his videos consisted of him going into Chinatown, looking as American as possible, going into a restaurant and then ordering in fluent Chinese, and just the reaction of everyone's face.
Yeah, not just Chinese, but a certain dialects of the Chinese.
So that's really impressive when people can do that in other languages. That I agree a lot on. So yeah, if me and Choo Choo ever get to an American con, we can have secret conversations. Or, and any other country than Sweden, Denmark, and Iceland, I think. We can't understand the Finnish, and the Finnish can't understand us because it's so much difference.
Well, doesn't Finland have its roots in sort of Mongolia or something?
Yeah, something like that. Like, I think it's a really interesting language, but at the same time, it's like,
What did you just say?
Did you
Did you just curse me?
It's like, did you just curse me, or did you say hello, good morning? But at the same time, people say a lot with Norwegians that they sing and talk very fast at the same time. So it's like, okay.
I mean, at least it's not German where you sound permanently angry at everything.
Yeah, sadness. Poor people.
I actually did better at school with German than I did French.
Much better than Spanish. Yeah, and so when we had the choice between GCSEs and say, oh yes, I could do French, which I've been doing since primary school, or I could do Spanish, which I've done for a year. I went for French, even though I was better than Spanish.
Well, I hadn't touched what would be politically correctly called a modern language until I went to secondary school, and then the one I went to insisted you did French plus one of two others, and the other two were German or Spanish. I took French and German, and then when it came to GCSEs, I was allowed to drop one of them, and sort of going around all the teachers and the parents' evening before you make your choices. Turns out that my German was an entire grade better than my French, so I went for German.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I remember we also had the choice in, it's not high school. It's like a few years before, like the 3 years before high school starts. I think it would be for you guys. We could choose between Spanish, French, English, or if you had really bad grades, Norwegian. I started with French because, I have a lot of family who moved to France, and, it would be fun to be able to speak another language. I got 2 bad grades, so I was moved forcefully to the English one. Did too bad in the English one, was moved to Norwegian.
Oh, in the English system, doing things, you do the modern languages alongside continuing your studies in English.
Oh, yeah. Like, then at that time I had 2 different English classes.
Oh yeah, when you got later on in school, it was split into English and English literature.
Ah.
Yeah.
So I was doing English literature, and German at the same time.
So for me, but French. So one of my life regrets is not sticking with the Spanish.
I regret my
mean-
decision.
I mean, I got a D at GCSE in German, so I hate to think what my French would have come out at.
What
dear.
about you, Rotkiv? Did you have any other second languages or?
In high school, I had taken American Sign Language
Ooh.
since a foreign language is a requirement for graduation.
So do you still know it or have you forgotten it?
It kind of rusted and deteriorated for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, my German's deteriorated down to about 2 phrases that I remember, and both of them were for taking my GCSE, my speaking exam. First one was meine Deutsch ist nicht so gut, and the other one was, in fact, no, I can't even fully remember that one.
Sprechen Sie
To do with
Deutsch?
to do with the clothes I was wearing. Ich habe eine schwarze Hose und weißes Hemd an, which basically is I've got a white shirt and black trousers on.
I almost understood the whole sentences, and I don't speak German. That's how similar German and Norwegian is. Yay!
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 But yeah, meine Deutsch ist nicht so gut was because I had taken a because I was in the lower set for German. The teacher was allowed to prepare certain phrases for us, and we basically had to learn and recite them for the exam. Because I took that and modified it, it meant that I was actually eligible for not absolutely bottom grades in the speaking element of my exam. And all I did was put insert so. So instead of meine Deutsch ist nicht gut, my German is not good. Meine Deutsch ist nicht so gut, my German is not so good.
I fell out. What are we talking about?
I have no idea.
Okay. I'm not alone then. Yay! So that's the thing. When you buy food at a restaurant, you don't always buy the things you know that you like. What is the weirdest food combination or recipe dish? That's the name. What's the weirdest dish you have ever eaten at a restaurant that was either good and or bad? I'm curious.
I learned I enjoy fried squid rings.
For fried squids?
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Chop the tentacles into rings and fry them.
Ah.
I learned that one at a Chinese place that unfortunately no longer exists.
No, sadness.
So when it comes to restaurants, I'm usually not that adventurous because it's like usually more expensive, and I want to actually like what I'm eating.
Yeah, a lot of us are comfort animals.
Although, was it? What day is it? Last week, at a wedding, didn't have a choice, so had this kind of pork pate touring, which I quite liked.
That does sound good, actually.
Yes, it had a very nice vinaigrette.
I'm not a fan of vinegar. I think it spoils the salad.
Oh, I also learned at a friend's wedding that I really dislike goat's cheese.
That's fair.
But some in other places like like village stalls and at food fairs and stuff like that. I think the weirdest one I had was a candied scorpion.
That is a weird one.
Yeah, that's like the stuff you find in Lanzarote or other countries. I don't know what Lanzarote is in English, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Lanzarote?
that was nice. Also the chocolate grasshopper was nice.
The chocolate
it was one of
watawa?
So
It was a food fair.
I'm guessing this was about 10 to 20 years ago. That's a guess.
I cannot remember.
Fair.
Because I remember in the early 2000s, partly thanks to some of the TV shows, there was a thing about eating bugs and recipes you can do with bugs. I'm guessing it's an offshoot of that.
No, it was just it was a world food fair that sometimes my town does, and went there. I had an ostrich burger.
That's supposed to be really good.
It is very nice.
Yeah, ostrich is pretty good. The taste of beef with less fat.
In fact, I think there's actually farms in the UK that actually rear ostrich for doing food.
I don't know whether or not they rear it for food, but I do know that there are some ostriches at a kind of place near me. They've got ostriches, they've got llamas, and all things like that.
Oh my gosh. You guys. You have to see
also,
this.
what was it? I've forgotten what it's probably called, but it's the snake blood wine.
That sounds like poison.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much.
Well, based on the name, it doesn't really sound delicious either. So, what made you taste it?
I was just going through all the stalls and just kind of saying, that sounds interesting, let's try that.
I regret life choices.
I regret my decisions.
Yeah, I think my biggest regret on that day was the ghost pepper.
Uff. Uff da. Uff. Nej. Ont i munnen min. Au. Fu.
I was a little bit sloshed at that point, so basically, yeah, especially when I'm generally not a huge fan of really hot food.
British palate meets ghost pepper while drunk. Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like a splendid idea. Ow.
I'm guessing there was a few German beers there.
Yeah.
How did I know?
Yeah, so that happens.
Yeah, I did learn I don't like sauerkraut.
I've never actually tried that.
And I can't actually remember whether or not I liked it or not. But kimchi.
Kipipi?
It's a Korean dish. It's basically
Kimchi?
kimchi. Yeah.
Oh, kimchi! That's something totally different. Kimchi is basically some sauce with salad that's been fermented a little bit. It's supposed to be very, very good when it's cold, but I don't know if you had it cold or warm.
Yeah, I had it warm. Yeah. Apparently, it's such a in Korea, it's such a staple food that the astronauts take it with them.
Yeah. How about you, Chris? You eaten anything that you thought was a bit unusual and either liked or didn't like it?
I need to think. It's been a while. Okay. Except for like okay, things I've tried on my own, I think would be a better stuffy, because things I've been forced to eat as a kid is something else.
Yeah, no, let's stick to stuff that you had your own hand in deciding.
Yeah. I would also. My first one would be, we have I don't know what's the proper name for it, but it's kind of like you have if you take a bread and it's kind of the size of your hand, but it's not a bread. It's like a lot softer, like a very soft type of bun, very tiny, like small one.
Okay.
Kind of like that, but you split it in two and then you just fill it up with cheese doodles and smush it together. So it's very flat. Before I knew about my cheese, my milk and wheat intolerant, that was my favorite snack as a kid.
Ah,
For some reason, the crunchiness and the cheese and the bread dough thingy was just heaven for my taste bumps.
Right, Rotkiv, have you had anything that you was interesting or different?
Well, as far as any restaurant foods, I don't really have much to say there. But as far as unusual in general, let's see, cookies with hot sauce on them.
What?
What?
Yep, that's unusual.
Let's see, uh, sandwiches with pimento cheese and bacon jam. Sandwiches with peanut butter and bacon jam.
Wait a minute. Bacon jam.
Yes, bacon jam. Kind of like what they claimed in Powerpuff Girls, but it's real.
Hang on a second, I need to Google. I need to Google that.
Same.
Let's see, I've had dried mealworms. I had barbecue seasoned crickets. There's probably a few other things, but I don't quite remember off the top of the head.
So it's kind of a bacon pickle. Onions, brown sugar, coffee, that's an unusual one, and balsamic, which would be the pickling agent. Hmm.
I found one with whiskey.
Of course, I found the
Whiskey.
alcoholic one.
And I've also had bacon fudge.
Bacon fudge? How does that work?
It's pretty much your basic fudge, but with bacon pieces put in it. It's a tad salty, but the
gonna
sweetness
say-
of the chocolate would kind of balance it out.
I mean, for those who like things like salted caramels, I imagine that would probably work quite well. But no, I mean, I've had salted caramel before, and I really don't like that. It's not a combination that I particularly like, but
Oh, I love it.
so it sounds like you might like that one then.
Possibly. Oh yeah, I just remembered another one I tried at that food fair. Chris, let's see if I pronounce it right. Lutskisk.
Lutefisk! Yeah! It tastes horrible. Also, that's what I think, but if you like it, then go ahead.
No, I did not like it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So what is it?
It's basically fish cooked in lye water.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna find my lutefisk. How is it made? How do you make lutafisk? Lutafisk is a traditionally served seasonal dish in Norway. It's usually with the side of erter. Hva fela er erter for noe? Give me a second, I need to translate something. Please stand by. Erter. Oversetter. Ja, jeg skal ikke ha det på spansk. Jeg skal ha det på engelsk. Kan jeg få det på engelsk? Takk skal du ha. Ertestuing. Peas. Okay, it's peas. Peas mush and bacon and mustard. And good potatoes. So basically, if you want to make it in your own home, you need to buy them already dried out. And then you have to bake them in the oven for about an hour or two. Then, after having them in the hour or two on 250 degrees, you have to cook them in a pot, together with salt water for an hour or two more, and then put it together with the skin still on, and put them in aluminium, where it has to basically be grilled for 10 minutes. And then you put everything together.
Light water is pretty scary stuff to be cooking with.
Yeah!
Yeah, but it's actually used in quite a bit. I actually researched it a bit with Connor.
Yeah, I mean,
And say pretzels is used with lye.
yeah, Chinese century eggs. Yeah, like you say, it's used in a lot of. It's used in several bread-based recipes to alter the acidity of the dough.
So yeah, there is always a difference between lutefisk that you find in other countries and lutefisk you find in Norway or Sweden or Finland. So if you think that you like the American one, don't expect the same when you come to its motherland.
I mean, that's often the case, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Unless in America it's Thai food. If it's in America and you have Thai food at a Thai food restaurant, it tastes like it does in Thailand.
Cool.
Because
Yes.
Thailand have this whole system where they basically shipped out professional Thai chefs to restaurants and basically, you have authentic Thai food.
That's cool.
Sounds like when an American tries to order pizza in Italy.
Yes, many loud arguments there.
Yeah, pizza in Italy is very different to pizza across the rest of the world, to be honest. So Snowy Motorcycle asks Chris, do you have a favourite tropical fruit?
Does strawberry count?
Does you? I mean, I can't imagine they grow particularly well in Norway.
Actually, they do if you have a proper greenhouse or you grow it only in the summer, because Norwegian earth is pretty well grown, as they say. But of course, it dies in winter.
I was going to say, I'd have thought it's sort of cold for a bit too long for them to really work there, but okay.
But if I have to do like a tropical, like very far away from Norway, I actually do like durian. Weirdly enough.
Cool.
What about you guys? I'm curious now. What do you guys like?
So, tropical fruit. I don't know. Lychee.
Eh?
Lychee. It's small white food. It's kind of has the texture of an eyeball.
Ah, fancy.
But it's quite nice.
For me, it's something quite boring. It's the humble banana.
Yeah, banana. Banana.
For me, I kind of a few. The lychee, mango, the occasional pineapple.
Ska vi se. We did have a question further up, if I remember correctly.
Celestia and Luna quote?
Yeah. Do you guys have a favorite Celestia or Luna quote?
Anything Luna says.
Yeah.
Huzzah! The fun has been doubled.
Tis a lie! I think that one is kind of funny too. When it comes to Celestia,
I think my favourite Celestia one is at the end of the Gala episode when she
yeah,
just
with
turns-
Discord.
when she just turns around to the group and says, "That's the most fun she's ever had at a Gala."
In years. Oh. Yeah, I really like the when Discord joins and she like very end of the same that episode, she kind of pushes Twilight with her way and just go woohoo. Like that is not something you expect to hear from her, and that's awesome.
Yeah, both myself and Final agree with you there on Snowy. Luna for best alicorn.
Yeah. I say when it comes to Celestia quotes, there's one I like just purely for the memes it's caused. There's no wrong way to fantasize.
Wow, that knows so many different ways. Most of them I shall repeat on this stream.
That's why I didn't elaborate.
Oof.
But it was so memeable.
Yeah.
All the memes. Yeah, that's something I've heard a lot too, that a lot of people entered the fandom because of all the memes that came out of it.
One of the interesting ones I've seen is actually, especially in the early to mid days of Gen 4, was the amount there was a degree of pushback from certain other groups just on the obsession with ponyfying everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
To the point where even Spitfire, Fiora's wife, even actually sort of just outright and said, "Why did you have to make everything ponyfied?" And she was actually, I mean, she was quite annoyed by it at the time. I mean, it was a couple of 3 years ago now, but yeah.
Well, the fandom did explode. And when you especially consider that a huge proportion of the fandom grew up on 4chan.
Mm.
Like 4chan, I hear a lot of bad stuff about.
Yeah, I usually avoid it.
So, kind of started with Reddit advertising themselves as being, quote, unmoderated. They've had to change the policy on that one, but 4chan kind of picked up the baton for that one, and they literally are, it's like, everything's unmoderated, do whatever you want. Humanity being humanity, that goes the kind of places you expect. So yeah, a lot of to keep it safe for Chris, unfortunate ideas come out of 4chan.
Ofta.
Yeah, it is the origin of the term Brony.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because it was started on the /B thing.
How about you, Rotkiv? Favorite quotes?
Let's see. I believe I already listed the Luna one, but for the Celestia one, I guess I'd probably go with you. You don't have to worry about finding bananas on the moon.
Is that from the series?
No, it's from a video. An old meme.
Ah. Ja, nej då så.
Did you answer this question, Chris?
Yeah, I said Celestia's was
Uh-huh.
woohoo, and
Yes, you did. Yes, you
Luna's was "'Tis a lie." Because for some reason that's funny.
did. It also became a meme.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. But I gotta. Okay, I'm curious. What is your favorite? If you're able to choose favorite princess song where Luna or Celestia or both of them are in.
Oh.
Like I really like, of course, that I think a lot of people like is the what's it called, Luna's Future. You know, I see the cold wind blowing through, like from the Snowfall Frost episode.
Yeah. I really like You'll Do Your Part.
Oh
Where
yeah,
it's, like,
that's
it's
nice too.
all three of them.
That's nice.
I definitely like Celestia's Ballad, the one where Twilight transcends into being an alicorn. Really like that one.
Oh yeah, Celestia's Ballad.
Ballad.
Yeah.
Ballad, yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, when the fandom first ended.
Oof, door. Somebody has some spice to throw around.
No, I didn't mean, because I fully expected, as soon as I first watched the first episode, is that eventually she's going to become an alicorn or princess or something like that. So I wasn't at all surprised when she got wings.
Ah.
But you know, the fandom exploded. I always
Oh.
find the drama so entertaining.
Celestia song. What's the... Celestia songs? Celestia songs. How many songs does she has? Does she? Yes.
3.
3. I know the Ballad and when she joins the...
Ballad, You'll Do Your Part, and the one with her and Luna on vacation sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna choose the vacation one. That's awesome. I like that episode. I like it very
Cool,
much.
so that sounds like we have a tie break then. Rotkiv, do you have a favourite?
Well, I'm pretty sure people will be coming after me with torches and pitchforks, but I haven't really watched this show, so can't really give much on a favorite show song. But as far as fandom wise, I'd probably go with either Children of the Night or Lullaby for a Princess.
I must admit, I was going to ask if I could insert a fandom one once you'd answered,
Yeah.
and that was the one I was going to ask. Yeah, I have to be careful when I listen to that one because it does get me emotional.
No.
Okay, was it Snowy Motorcycle? Favorite MLP Fims song and Pony.
Well, like my favorite character overall is Sakura, but if I have to choose a favorite pony, it's gonna be Granny Smith because she's awesome. Why are you even
she's
surprised?
She's good.
When it comes to favorite song overall, oof, that's a hard pickle. Oh, gee. Well, I'm gonna make it easy for myself and just say The Perfect Pair because it's adorbs. Either that or I'm gonna say the Pinkie Pie Oink Oink song. Because ADHD. Whee! What about you guys?
Oh, for me, as far as the favorite pony, out of the main cast, it would probably be Fluttershy. As for our background pony, it would probably be a Berry Punch. And for the songs, like I said from earlier, I'd probably get chased with torches and pitchforks because I haven't really watched the show very much.
That's okay. There are a lot of fans who haven't watched the whole show yet, so no worries.
I'm trying to remind myself the name of the one I'm thinking of. Hang on.
Oh, if you count the movie, it would probably be Open Up Your Eyes.
It's a good one. Let's see. Favorite song. Some. I'm trying to remember their names. It's between one of two. Both rarity songs. Art of the Dress and
Rules of rarity, guarantee quality. Do 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 do.
Pony You Want to Be?
Ah, yeah, that's nice.
And well, Rarity is my favourite main six. Luna Best Princess.
Toast, toast.
Yeah, of all the secondary characters and things like that, I'm a Trixie fan.
Sorry, bear with me. I'm still trying to find the name, so I can't. Let me remember it.
Can you give things so maybe I can help you narrow it down?
It's actually from the same episode set as the last song I mentioned. It's the one when the cutie marks have all been screwed up and they're going around.
What my cue mark is telling me?
No, that's the one where they're actually all messed up. It's the one where they're fixing it after.
True Friend.
That's the one. So yeah, True Friend and Pony, Pony, but not Alicorn, as we've already covered that with princesses. I'm gonna say Pinkie Pie.
Ah.
Pinkie Pie probably best pony, Luna best princess, and Sakura awesome character overall.
Sorry, some people contacted me about help to get together podcasts. So I was just like, oh, I don't really have time right now. But at the same time, my inner anxiety, and anxiety to I have to reply at as soon as I can. So sorry for the silence and.
Whereas,
Also, in my anxiety and everything that also pops up, I see we have hit our 2-hour mark. Ta-da!
so we have a
2-hour mark.
Basically, these streams are usually 2 hours because that's usually when I start to fall asleep.
It's just that I missed what you'd said.
We hit we hit the 2-hour mark, so this is usually when I unless I have my I can't sleep periods. This is where I usually end the stream so that I can still get a decent amount of sleep before I have to go and do farm work and stuff in the morning.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah, because the sheeps won't get back from the half mountain behind my house without hearing food. So, you know.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for having us on, Chris.
Thank you for joining and spending time, and thank you for Final for, instead of making a sponsor, he actually made the photo himself. Like the whole photo.
Well, cobbled it together.
And thank you to the great and generous Lord Lansabi for gracing us with his presence.
Needs a bottom collar.
Ooh,
No,
we're
no.
going there. I was not going there. I was not going to go there. This is Lensabi, not Twitty. They are separate entities.
Yeah, Lansabi do not need one. To Twitchy Witchy, I was about to say. Might need one, yeah. So, you guys can say goodbyes while I find somebody that we can raid. Oh, our Gemon is up and going. So, yeah. You guys want to say goodbye, or to people?
Yeah. Hey, I'm Headdie, also known as Chifundo, the pink and grey zebra who is with his eyes closed enjoying a mug of wasteland tea in the picture on your screens.
I'm Rotkiv Steel Mug. May your mugs be cold and the winds be at your back.
And I've been Finalsight, and my grumpy zebra having tea that isn't strong enough.
Oof.
Thank you everybody so much for being here today. Thank you everybody who showed up, and thank you so much to Pishu and Amy Squee for the raids. We are now going to raid an amazing source filmmaker animator, and he is playing Sea of Thieves. So basically we're going to watch some pirates. Yeah. So I hope you're all
Really
ready.
does do some good stuff.
Yeah.